Hello and welcome back to the Wrestling Group on YouTube. Today we are doing something a little bit different and we are going to take a little trip back to 2004-2005 with WWE and their dress code. So what does that mean? So I was sent a video by one of our founder members of the Wrestling Group, Andy Lewis. He sent me a 2-3 minute TikTok video with the caption that said this might make a cool video for the YouTube channel. So I thought, let's have a little look, see what it's all about. So, there was a dress code brought in the company in around late 2004. And basically what it was they decided that they wanted talent to wear more business like clothes, so it'd be like shirt and pants, full suits, that sort of stuff. If they were on television, they would either be in ring gear or they'd be in like this dress code wear, like business wear, if you like say shirt, tie, suits. So if you go back to like 2004, 2005, you'll see like Raws and Smackdowns, you'll see like obviously Triple H, Ric Flair, they tend to wear suits anyway, but then this was after Batista had left Evolution, so he wasn't really wearing suits, and then he was back in the suit again. Randy Orton the same. Kurt Angle was wearing like a shirt and pants. Shawn Michaels was in a suit. You know, there was so many wrestlers that we weren't used to seeing, but then literally every other promo and angle was someone coming out in a suit. So, like I say, the likes of Shawn Michaels and that didn't normally wear them, but he would wear, say, like a t-shirt and jeans. That'd normally be his go-to, but the jeans actually became a thing that they added to the do not wear list, which was handed out to wrestlers at the time, which they couldn't wear, obviously, on TV. In August of 2004, there was a meeting held at a Raw show, and talent were then told that they now had to abide by this dress code, not just for televised events, though. They were now saying it was also for live events, so the house shows, and also when they're travelling to and from shows. A couple of wrestlers weren't happy with the situation. Edge, Molly Holly, and Chris Jericho, they all voiced their displeasure. You know, during the meeting, basically Edge and Molly Holly put it out there that, you know, considering they have to pay for their own travel to shows, they shouldn't have to abide by a certain dress code. You know, t-shirt and jeans, even t-shirt and shorts, it should be up to them because they are paying for their own travel. But obviously WWE wanted them to abide to this new dress code that they were bringing in, which was obviously similar to what the likes of the NBA and stuff were doing. So when you seen them, they were all together and they were all in suits and they all look smart. You know, Vince obviously wanted that to be a thing for the WWE as well. Jericho said that, you know, considering that WWE always markets them as unique individuals, that it was stripping away their identity by making them all look exactly the same. You know, you wouldn't necessarily expect to see Chris Jericho at an airport in a suit, or an Edge, or, you know, like so the others. At the SmackDown meeting that they had the same week, Hardcore Holly was the only one to voice a concern on that show, where he voiced the displeasure of the new dress code, stating obviously similar things to what the other three said at the Raw show, and he's even put in his book that he was disappointed that he was the only one at the time who stood up and said he didn't want to do it. Obviously, Vince took all this, well, say took it all in. Vince listened to what they said and then basically told them they had to do it anyway. Some superstars, though, were exempt from the dress code. Undertaker, John Cena, Mick Foley are amongst those that were exempt because it didn't go with their gimmick, as they were allowed to basically wear what they wanted. You know, John Cena would tend to just wear what he wore in the ring and to the ring, outside and during travel anyway, so it didn't really make a difference to John Cena at all. The main reason for to have been at that time for the dress code was because Johnny the Bull Stamboli apparently managed to wear a t-shirt at a televised event which contained vulgar language, so they wanted to make sure that obviously that didn't happen again, but they went to the complete extreme and punished everyone. The dress code, though, in WWE is something Vince McMahon has tried on numerous occasions. It's not just in the early 2000s. In the 90s, before the Attitude Era, you know, a few wrestlers have spoken out on the different things that they, were told that they had to wear, and a couple of times when they then got into trouble, and they also got fined as well. WWE, Vince McMahon was fining wrestlers who didn't stick to the dress code. Road Warrior Animal was fined for wearing jeans and a t-shirt on a flight to an event. Johnny Stamboli was fined $500 for wearing a baseball cap on a 3 a.m. bus commute to an event. So it was early hours of the morning. Not likely many fans are going to see him, even when he arrived at the show. Probably not many fans are going to see him. And all he was wearing was t-shirts and the jeans, and was fined $500. King Kong Bundy was fined also $500 for wearing shorts on a plane to a show. So he was even sitting on a plane wearing a pair of shorts and was fined $500, which is ridiculous, but that seemed to be the amount that Vince was going for the fine. In 2014, the dress code again was brought back, and so were the fines. He also brought in a no tolerance to lateness policy, which if you're 1 minute late to the show, you will be fined. You'll be fined for being 1 minute late to a show. But wrestlers were given set times to arrive at these shows, and they were also set times to be at the actual arena beforehand. Sometimes it could be up to 5 hours before a televised event, and if they were 1 minute late to that, they would still be fined, which is absolutely ridiculous. Many of the town believed, though, at the time when it was brought back in 2014, that the main reason being that they handed out the fines again was because 2014 was the year of the WWE Network launch, and when it first launched, it didn't hit the heights that they expected it to straight away. So there is thought among some talent that WWE then brought in the dress code again with fines, and also this new lateness one with fines, was then to make up some of the money that was obviously not coming in through what was predicted on the WWE networks. They were making up like a sort of financial loss. Nowadays, though, it is a little more relaxed, shall we say, being more guidelines rather than the actual dress code, and no fines are implemented that we know of. Business casual wear is expected when travelling and appearing in the public. Superstars are encouraged, though, to make sure they wear WWE merchandise, including t-shirts and jackets, if they are out and about. So there we have it. That is the WWE and the dress code. Like I say, if you go back and watch Raws and SmackDowns from, say, around 2004, 2005, late 2004, probably early 2005 time, you'll see a lot of wrestlers that you're not used to seeing in pretty smart way. And then again, later on, like 2014 and such, you'll see people in like more smart casual wear. I remember Seth Rollins wearing a suit and stuff like that at one point. I know he was part of the Authority, but it still didn't really suit him. But there is different people that, like, say, wear exempt. Undertaker, John Cena, Kane, Mankind, these type of wrestlers were allowed to get away with it. But there we have it. It was just a fun, interesting fact that I thought I'd go and have a look through. And if you go back and also look at 2005, you'll also see there's an episode of Raw where you have Kurt Angle coming out in a shirt and pants. You've got Triple H and Ric Flair both in suits in the ring. Shawn Michaels comes down in the suit. And then when they all get a bit heated and get a bit into it, Kurt Angle's shirt, because it's a blue shirt at the time, is absolutely soaked in sweat. Triple H, Ric Flair, when they take the jackets off, exactly the same, which then caused WWE to then look at it a little bit different, because you've got to remember that inside, most of the time, closed buildings with a lot of body heat in there, a lot of lights and cameras on you, so of course it's going to make you sweat a lot. So after a couple of episodes of Raw and SmackDown like that, where they were clearly sweating through what they were wearing at the time, because they were wearing far too much clothing, obviously WWE starts to rethink that, but they do try to keep implementing it over the years. And I just thought, with Andy sending me that video, that I thought it's quite interesting. I wonder how much information you could actually find out about this, because, like, say, the video was only very short on TikTok. It was a 2-3 minute video, and I thought, I wonder how much information there is actually on this, and there is quite a lot. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about WWE and the dress code? Do you think wrestlers should have to abide by certain dress code rules? Would they be allowed to wear what they wanted when they're out in the public? Obviously, if they're not going shows, and that should they be allowed to wear what they want when they're traveling, especially considering, as was pointed out, that WWE superstars do pay for their own travel. Should they be allowed to just wear comfy wear, or is it more appropriate for them to try and keep to like what it is now, where it's WWE merchandise like t-shirts and jackets and such? Let me know in the comments section below. Let me know what your thoughts and feelings are about WWE sticking to a strict dress code, about your thoughts about Vince McMahon fining wrestlers throughout the years $500 for not adhering to the dress code. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and feelings on this one, and let me know if you like the video, and if you do, I will look into more interesting facts about wrestling in and throughout the history. So thank you very much for watching. Give me a like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and keep an eye out for more wrestling related content coming your way very soon.